Alright guys, if y'all are new to the channel, real quick, let me tell y'all what we do. Let me tell y'all what we talk about, and that is Dynasty Fantasy Football. This is strictly a Dynasty Fantasy Football channel. Obviously, the player you clicked on, whatever team he went to, is definitely going to be discussed and how it affects that NFL team and the supporting cast around it. But our main focus is on Dynasty Fantasy Football. If you don't know what that is, just fantasy football year round. You draft one team, you always have that team throughout the entire offseason. You're making trades, you're going through, you're actually drafting rookies like your real NFL team, and it's a lot of fun. If you have never played in a Dynasty League before and are interested in joining one, we have new leagues starting every single week. Go down the description of the video, join the Discord, and that's where you're going to get all the info for that. And if you are already playing Dynasty Fantasy Football, you are at the perfect place. Make sure you go down there and subscribe. This is going to be the channel for you, but let's get into the video.
That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, and y'all know if y'all been watching for the channel, I've been pushing this very hard lately just because I get y'all 2 videos a day, but it's more important now than ever. I need y'all to make sure you go down and like this video. I'm going to be putting out 4 to 5 videos a day, so I promise you, I sent that screenshot earlier with what happens in the YouTube algorithm. If I upload more than 1 video a day and y'all don't leave a like, pretty much it just kills the channel. So it's now more important than ever. Make sure you go down right now and leave a like on this video. All right, guys, let's talk about a wide receiver that I said I was higher on than consensus going into the NFL draft. Really love this guy, especially for Dynasty Fantasy Football. We know that he was a major riser throughout the entire draft process. And yeah, this is for a great reason. Justin Jefferson came into college, really was on nobody's radar, super low high school recruit rank. I heard someone talk about Justin Jefferson running something ridiculous, like a 4.7 40. I don't know if that's accurate. Something of that extent coming out of high school, going into LSU. So you know that he was recruited to go to LSU strictly based off of what his talent was at the wide receiver position, his skills, and really the routes he could run. And then he was able to develop that natural ability into some athleticism, which we really rarely see athletes do at the collegiate level. Usually we see them come in with a baseline of athleticism, and that's how they get recruited. I actually remember about 5 or 6 years ago, someone from my high school, he was barely on the football field. I mean, he probably played about 20% of our football team snaps, yet he goes out junior year, runs an insane 40. He was a track star, and then all of a sudden he's a 4-star recruit. I think a lot of high school recruits have that same story where they don't really have the production in high school. They're not that talented. They have the athleticism. Then colleges turn them into a special talent. But here we are, complete opposite situation for Justin Jefferson. So he's kind of an outlier in that way, but he's also an outlier in many aspects of his game. We're going to get into that in a little bit and where you should be drafting him in Dynasty Fantasy Football. But Justin Jefferson, he just turned 21 years old. So for Dynasty, this is significant. I know I've been talking about this nonstop. Heard it from Scott, pretty much just ripped it straight from Scott. I thought it was a great point, and I'm really trying to apply his analysis to my rookie drafts this offseason. And he talks all the time about how important it is for these wide receivers to come in at a super young age, just because if they hit, then their dynasty value skyrockets, similar to how we saw A.J. Brown really take that step forward in his dynasty value going into year 2. But even if they don't hit and they take a while to get on the field, their value is not going to completely tank. We're not going to see another J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. We're going to see a player that, hey, I mean, the dynasty community is going to go, I mean, he was only 21. What did we really expect from him? He should be able to develop, and he should be able to come into something going into his sophomore year. So it's a really safe and high upside investment if you invest into a wide receiver with this profile at this age. Now, Justin Jefferson, 6'1", 202. I know I just talked about how poor of an athlete he was coming out of high school, but he turned that around, and coming into the NFL Combine, a lot of people had Justin Jefferson low on their draft boards just because everyone thought he was an extremely subpar athlete. Obviously, with these productive wide receivers, we don't need them to be super athletic. I talk about this all the time. I would much rather my wide receiver be productive than be athletic. And Justin Jefferson was extremely productive at LSU, obviously played in the nation's best college offense. And he comes in and proves to be extremely athletic, way more athletic than really anybody expected, especially considering the kind of wide receiver he is. He's not a burner. He's not going to go over the safeties and consistently win that way. He plays in the slot and he wins with his routes. And this is something we love to see. So if he's already able to win with his routes and able to win with his just natural football ability, he comes in, proves that he's athletic. This just says that he's going to be able to translate that skill to the NFL level when NFL defenders get faster and they get stronger, they get bigger. But even though he already played pretty much a tougher schedule than any other player in college football in 2019, he went in there, not only played the SEC competition, but he came into Austin. He came to Texas when we were still ranked top 10, and Justin Jefferson and the LSU Tigers is what knocked us completely out. Then they go on to obviously win the national title, so they get a couple more challenging games there. So Justin Jefferson was consistently elite against the top competition across the entire nation. I believe he ended up with something like 111 receptions his junior year. And he was, especially what was impressive about Justin Jefferson is not only did he break out his junior year, but he was productive his sophomore year as well. So even when the LSU offense wasn't this complete juggernaut, we still saw Justin Jefferson be able to be a usable weapon in the offense, and really they leaned on him in 2018, which is something you love to see, and in my opinion kind of dismisses the concerns that Justin Jefferson was just a product of this Joe Brady, Joe Burrow offense. And really, I'm willing to say that Justin Jefferson was a reason that this team had success. Obviously, he was not the only reason. He was not the main reason, but he was a part of it, and I'm willing to give credit where credit is due. But now, y'all know, I love Justin Jefferson, love the player. Let's talk about the landing spot. He goes in the first round, right behind Jalen Reagor, right behind CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, and Henry Ruggs, to the Minnesota Vikings. At first, I'm not going to lie, I hated this landing spot. I looked at it and I went, I love Justin Jefferson, but he's going to an NFL passing offense that already has an established wide receiver one, and they don't like to throw the ball. But then I continually heard y'all discussing the Discord chat how it was a great landing spot, and I was like, oh, maybe I should look into this. Maybe I should see what is really going on down in Minnesota. And I've came away with the impression that this is actually a good spot for Justin Jefferson. I don't know why I thought it was bad at first, because if we look at Adam Thielen last season, I saw a stat on Twitter that he actually really isn't playing in the slot that often. I think they had him in the slot about 30% of snaps. So Adam Thielen is kind of transitioning to an outside wide receiver. And what we want Justin Jefferson to do is we want him to play in the slot. That's where he excels. That's where he's going to get the volume. And we know that Kirk Cousins loves his slot wide receiver. So Adam Thielen transitioning to the outside, absolutely love it. Not only is Adam Thielen transitioning out of the slot, but he turns 30 in August. So Adam Thielen, I know he just broke onto the scene maybe 4 years ago, but he was an extremely late breakout. So he's already 30 years old, and he's only owed $5 million in dead cap space after this season. So I truly believe that if Justin Jefferson balls out his rookie season, we can end up seeing this Minnesota Vikings offense without Adam Thielen in 2021 if they decide to cut him, if they cannot rework a deal. And that's really going to skyrocket Justin Jefferson's value. Just imagine this. Justin Jefferson goes in. He's a wide receiver 3 at 21 years old. People are already extremely excited about him. Then they decide to cut Adam Thielen. If you're looking at what that would do for Justin Jefferson's projections, through the roof. I believe that Justin Jefferson is a better version of Tyler Boyd. I think they're very similar wide receivers. Justin Jefferson is just the more athletic version. And I am fully willing to buy in, and I don't expect this offense to be as run heavy in 2020 as they were in 2019. Obviously, their offensive coordinator went to Cleveland, and he was replaced with Gary Kubiak, who we've known. Gary Kubiak, I actually really like him. I believe that he's able to kind of fit with his personnel and kind of adjust his game plan. So I think he's going to look at this Minnesota Vikings offense and have a lot more of a balanced attack in 2020 compared to the extreme run-heavy plays that we saw in 2019. So everything points to Justin Jefferson being a great buy. Where I would take him in Dynasty rookie drafts is, I said this in a video that came out earlier today, but in Superflex drafts, I see there being a clear tier of 5 right now. Obviously, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, whatever order you want. Then I see J.K. Dobbins and Justin Herbert coming in. But after that, I think it's just a big jumbled mess. I actually recently took Jerry Jeudy ahead of Justin Jefferson. I took Jerry Jeudy as the wide receiver 1 in one of our rookie flock drafts. And yeah, our flock drafts are already drafting rookies right now. We started the night of the NFL draft. We waited until about halfway for the first round to be done, and the clock started. It is a slow draft, 6 hours, and the clock pauses overnight. So I believe most drafts are only in about 2 picks right now. But we are getting early data. We're getting these early reactions, and it's fantastic just because you have to go. You have to try to take your pre-draft evaluation, and you can't wait for a ton of other people to tell you what to do. You can't wait to go out there and read a bunch of articles of what people did for research. You have to sit there, and you have to use your own intuition with how you think you should rank these players. Obviously, right away, I'm trying to get you all the information I can, and I answer any questions through Discord. But at the same time, it's a great system, and I took Jerry Jeudy ahead of Justin Jefferson as wide receiver 1, but I think there's a big tier of wide receiver 1s right now, and I'm interested to see how it shakes out. I can't really argue with anyone wanting to take Jerry Jeudy, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Reagor, CeeDee Lamb, Henry Ruggs. If you want to take any of those guys as your wide receiver 1, obviously I'm not going to agree with you, but I'm not going to be able to fight you tooth and nail for it. I think that it's fine. So Justin Jefferson's going to be going at the end of the first round in Superflex drafts. I believe we are in pick 109, 110 in the Flock 3 league right now. Justin Jefferson is still on the board, as is CeeDee Lamb, the 2 wide receivers who have been drafted, where I took Jerry Jeudy and then Henry Ruggs went off the board. So if you want to check out these drafts, make sure you go down, join the Discord. I post the links of the drafts there and completely free, and it's great data for real drafts, real money buy-in leagues. Not just mock drafts. I mean, you can get any bum off Twitter to participate in a mock draft, and pretty much it's not going to be accurate. But if you have real people drafting in leagues that they're invested in, that's some good data. And if you want to find that, make sure you go to the Discord. But thanks so much, guys. Really hope you all enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment with what you're doing with Justin Jefferson in 2020 and where you're going to be ranking him in your Dynasty rookie rankings.